If AI does any of your weekly content writing, you have 48 hours before the model behind it gets a public upgrade. I'm talking about Anthropic's own developer conference, Code with Claude San Francisco, which live streams this Wednesday, 6 May, with Sonnet 4.8, widely expected to land alongside. The launch window is the only thing not stamped in writing yet. Most founders watching this will do nothing on Monday. They'll see the headlines Wednesday afternoon, click into a half-broken flow on Thursday, and spend Friday wondering why a prompt that worked yesterday now sounds slightly off. That's not the model getting worse, that's the model getting different, and you not having a baseline to read the change against. So today in Prep Audit, 30 minutes, 3 prompts, 2 stashed outputs, 1 decision rule. By the time the live stream ends on Wednesday, you'll know whether to switch, and you'll know from a clean comparison, not a vibe. Here is what you'll walk away with by the end of this video. Number 1, 3 prompts. Every coach should run through Opus 4.7 before Wednesday, and what outputs to save. 2, a 60-second method to stash those outputs so you can compare them line for line on Wednesday afternoon. 3, the decision rule I use to tell whether a model upgrade earns its monthly seat or gets sent back. None of this requires a developer. None of it requires waiting for the launch. Quickly, what's actually confirmed? Code with Claude San Francisco is on Wednesday, 6 May, live streamed globally, and Anthropic typically uses these conferences to announce model upgrades. Opus 4.7 landed 2 weeks before Code with Claude was originally booked. Sonnet 4.8 was found inside Anthropic's own Claude Code source in March in a 512,000-line leak that referenced the next sonnet by name and skipped 4.7 entirely. Anthropic hasn't denied it. They've just been red teaming a model called Jupiter V1P this week, which is the typical naming pattern they use right before a public release. So the smart read is a Sonnet upgrade is highly likely on Wednesday. Could be that exact day, could be a few days later. Either way, the prep audit does not change. So the 3 prompts to baseline, these are the prompts a coach uses every week, which means they're the ones a model upgrade will most affect. If they break, your week breaks. The reason I picked these 3 and not say 10 is you want a small enough audit you'll actually do today, and a big enough audit it covers content, conversion, and care. So prompt 1, your hook generator, the one you paste a transformation into and ask for 10 short form hooks back. Run it now in Opus 4.7, save the output as hook test. Opus 4.7, May 4th. That's your before photo. Use the same transformation you've used before, not a fresh one. Same input, same instructions. The whole point of a baseline is that nothing on your side moves between 2 runs. Prompt 2, your caption rewrite, the one you feed your draft caption into, the instruction to keep your voice but tighten the word count to under 60. Run it now, save the output the same way. If your usual caption prompt has a brand voice line in it, keep that line. The model upgrade is what changes, your prompt stays still. And prompt 3, your DM reply triage, the one where you paste a tricky DM and ask it for 2 reply drafts, 1 warmer, 1 tighter, with reasons for each. This is the prompt that catches the model's tone shift first, because tone is what changes most between versions, and DMs are where tone matters most for a coach. 3 prompts, 3 outputs, 8 minutes if you're slow. The reason that this works is simple. When the upgrade lands, you rerun the same 3 with the same input. You compare line for line. You don't ask, is it better? That's a vibe question. You ask, is it different in the direction that I want? That's a decision question. Vibe questions waste a week. Decision questions take 5 minutes. How to stash the outputs in 60 seconds. Open a Notion page or a Google document. Title it Sonnet 4.8 Stack Prep for May. 3 subtitles. Hook, caption, DM, triage. Paste the input under each subheading. Paste the Opus 4.7 output under the input. Date it. Done. That's the worksheet. The one in the lead magnet today is a tidier version of the same thing. But if you don't grab the lead magnet, this works. The reason a doc beats a screenshot when Sonnet 4.8 lands is you paste the new outputs directly underneath the old ones. You can read it both with one scroll. You can mark which lines moved, and you can show a teammate. You can come back in a month and see how the model evolved on the same input. A screenshot can't do any of that. The decision rule, Opus 4.7 versus Sonnet 4.8. This is the question I get the most. Which one do I run my content engine on after Wednesday? Here's the rule I use. Sonnet runs the volume work, the captions, the DM drafts, the daily ops, because it's faster and cheaper, and that's what daily content needs. Opus runs on thinking work, the strategy briefs, the offer copy, the workshop outline, because it's stronger at long horizon reasoning, and that's what bigger work needs. When 4.8 lands, the question isn't, is it better than Opus? It's, is it better than the Sonnet that ran my captions yesterday? If the answer is yes, switch your captions to 4.8 and your strategy work stays on Opus. 2 models, 2 jobs, no overthinking, cleaner answers, easier billing, fewer arguments inside your own head about which version you're using on what. The trap a lot of founders fall into is they switch everything to the newest version because it's the newest. That's exactly how a working content flow gets quietly broken. The new model is different, not always better at every job. Sonnet 4.6 is sharper at quicker captions than Opus 4.6 ever was, even though Opus is the more advanced model. The audit is what tells you which jobs each version actually wins on for your voice and your work. One more rule while we're here, don't switch on launch day. Watch the launch, do the audit, switch by Friday. 24 hours of sleep on a model upgrade is a cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. The first batch of impressions on a brand new model is also the noisiest because the platform is still tuning. Friday is fine. Sunday is fine. The week after, also fine. The model isn't going anywhere. So what goes wrong if you skip the prep? Last December, when Opus 4.5 shipped, I had a client who didn't run the audit. She switched her caption flow to 4.5 the day it dropped, and the captions came out warmer but longer, by about 20 words on average. Her engagement dropped about 8% that week, and she blamed the algorithm, then she blamed the day of the week, then she blamed her hooks. Took her 3 weeks to track the shift back to the model change. By then, she's lost 3 weeks, and a launch she'd been warming up for a month. Audit takes 30 minutes. 3 weeks of guessing takes 3 weeks. The math is easy. Same client, by the way, ran the audit before Opus 4.6 in February, found that 4.6 was tighter on captions, slightly cooler on DMs, and she kept her DM flow on 4.5 for a week, switched over to 4.6 when she rewrote the warmth line in her prompt. 0 engagement dip. The audit is not a one-time thing. It's the discipline you do before every model change for the rest of your career as a content-led founder. So here's what your week looks like. Today, run 3 prompts in Opus 4.7, save the outputs. Wednesday afternoon, watch the live stream or read the announcement summary that night. Thursday morning, run 3 of the same prompts in whatever shipped. Compare line for line in your worksheet, make the call. 1 decision per workflow. By Friday, during lunch, you're shipping content on the right model with no guessing. So if this has unlocked something for you, I built a 1-page Sonnet 4.8 Stack Prep worksheet to go with it. The 3 prompts already typed up, the comparison table ready to fill in, and the decision rule on page 2. Comment prep on an Instagram video, and it's yours. No email list, no strings. That's the whole thing. I'll see you in afternoon with the breakdown.